I am Slick Nick, your personal keto bro. Let's explore this concept of eating more food but less calories. I think that sounds like a paradox to a lot of people. Let me say it out loud again. To eat more food but consume less calories. A lot of times people think, isn't that the same thing? No, not at all. In fact, for me, and actually, since I've got this on my phone, I've been sharing this in a lot of my videos. I'm going to show you a picture of me a year ago and what I look like before I started making these changes I'm about to speak to you about. But as far as back when I would consume ultimately more calories and less food. So what does that look like the opposite of? So here's me a year ago. This is me 1 year ago when I was consuming much more calories but less food. What do I mean by that? I mean empty calories. So let's explore that concept. So let's talk the average of 2,000 calories a day. Like if you're eating 2,000 calories, you're pretty much not going to lose weight. You're pretty much not going to gain weight. 2,000 calories is just kind of like the baseline there for most people on average. So in that 2,000 calories, you get to determine, do I want a lot of protein? Do I want a lot of fat? Do I want a lot of carbs? Those are the three macros. You get to decide how much of each of those you want. But ultimately, they're not equal. So for example, you actually need protein and fat. You need fat for your brain even. You need protein for your muscle. Carbs is short-term energy. So you get to determine, how do I want to divvy those out? Do I care most about maintaining muscle mass? Do I want to have plenty of fat for my brain so my body can function? And do I need short-term energy? Because fat is kind of the next level of energy, but the immediate that would get burned off versus carbs. So pizza, for example, is a prime example. Ice cream is another prime example of empty carbohydrates. Empty calories is what they are. I call them empty carbohydrates, but empty calories. Soda is an obvious example. It's just pure carbs. There's no actual nutrition to it. But let's think of the opposite of that. What's the opposite of that? If you think in these 2,000 calories or however many I'm eating today, I'm going to do the most nutritious food in that amount. So for example, a big leafy salad with olive oil, which is good for you, a couple hundred calories, but it's really heavy on nutrients. So for me now, and this is something I'm always exploring, I keep a journal, and my goal is about 1,900 calories a day. I'm always trying to keep it under 2,000, so I'm putting myself in a situation where I can continually burn fat by doing under the 2,000. But ultimately, and I've been having a lot of fun with this, I'm like, oh, this can of tuna, I used to eat 26 grams of protein, but this can has 30. My whey protein, oh, this one, I can do 100 calories for 25. The other one had more calories in it. So how can I reduce the calories and increase the amount of protein is a large, easy way to sort of figure that out. But hopefully that makes better sense now. That ultimately, to lose body fat, you must drop your number of calories and increase your level of protein. That's ultimately what it comes down to. And empty calories are going to make it to where you have a higher amount of calories but less real food. It's going to be mainly carbs. When people typically refer to empty calories, they're really usually talking about carbohydrates, cake, cookies, pizza, soda, etc. So what I've learned to do is to eat more food. I'm not afraid of food. I eat a lot of food every day, but I'm getting rid of those empty calories. So lower calories, yet more food. And that throws a lot of people off. Even my wife to this day, she's like, you don't eat much. I'm like, well, not until 2 o'clock. And then I have a big old feast. And I have more protein in one day than most people do in a week. That's not an exaggeration. Your comments belong right here.